All right, told you I was going to come and do this one. So this review for your health quiz. So it's just pages 55 through 67 is what your health quiz is going to be over, quiz 3. So look at these carefully because we talked about this the other day. So starting on page 55, what temperature should the refrigerator be for proper storage? Yes, I heard 35 to 40, 35 to 40. So it's just a 5-minute jump, a 5-degree jump from 35 to 40 degrees. That's what it should be, between the 35 and 40 degrees. What does keeping food in the proper storage do? It helps germs to keep from spreading. We said if things are left out, because this was something that some of you, I feel like, missed on. I don't remember what it was, but we missed some of it. What does, oh, maybe it was your quiz. When things are stored, or depending on their storage, it's when they lose what? They lose vitamins, okay, when they're not stored properly. So that's important. They lose vitamins quickly. So that's why you eat the fruit, as ripe fruit, as quickly as possible, and store things as quickly as possible so they're not losing so many vitamins. Which are better, fresh, frozen, or canned? Obviously, fresh is the best. Then what would be next? Frozen, remember, would be next, and then canned would be the last thing that you would choose, because that's sitting in a can. It's sitting in juices, which are sometimes have a lot of sugar, and it's not the same nutrients and things that you would need. So what should you always do with fresh fruits and vegetables? Right? You wash them. Why? Because there's chemicals that could be on them, and also there could be germs on them. So we always wash our food in preparation to wash off the germs and the chemicals that might be found on them. Where should we store meat in the refrigerator? We know we should store it in the refrigerator, right? Or in the freezer. But if we store it in the refrigerator, where should it be? We need to store it either in the back of the refrigerator, the coldest part, or if there is a controlled meat drawer, we put it in there. Very good. Because meat is something else that the germs will multiply on it. You don't want to eat something that's been out of the refrigerator, meat that's been out of the refrigerator for hours, because it can get spoiled. It can already start to be multiplying germs. Oh, and that's what it was. It was on page 57. So I think that was another comprehension check that we hadn't gone through yet. So meats should not be stored at room temperature, because they should be stored in the refrigerator, we just said. How long can cooked food stay at room temperature? If it's already been cooked, how long do we keep it at room temperature? It should be no more than 2 hours. If it's been more than 2 hours, you should not be eating that food. So for proper food storage, the blank should be kept between 35 and 40. Refrigerator, on page 57. The longer you store fruits and vegetables, the more vitamins they lose. We wash fruits and vegetables because it gets the germs and chemicals that might be on them to get that off. And then why is it important to store foods properly? It keeps the food from spoiling, keeps you from getting sick. It kills those germs, okay? And then we talked about how sicknesses can be spread through a touch, through kisses, coughing, or sneezing, okay? So remember those 4 ways. We've said them several times now, so think about those. Can you help prevent yourself and others from getting sick? You certainly can. You just have to practice those good, healthy habits. What healthy habits can help you from getting sick? It's something that we're doing all the time now. It should have been doing all along. For most of us, we have been, but should be washing your hands all the time. Cover your mouth and nose when you cough or you sneeze. All of those are ways that you can help. If you do, cough or, your hand, then you've got to go and wash it, sanitize it, wash it, because then you go and you touch the doorknobs and you touch the faucet or you touch your friends and you're passing on those germs. So make sure you're being aware of that. Germs enter your body through what 3 things? Mouth, nose, nose, and breaks in your skin. Good. And how long do we scrub hands for? Yes. So if it says wash your hands for, it's not saying for cleanliness or for keeping away germs. No, it's talking about for how long. So that's what it's asking, for 20 seconds. What helps trap germs when you breathe through your nose? Right, there's little hairs and that sticky mucus. We already talked about the proper way of covering. What should you do to treat a headache? Remember, dark room, apply head cold pack, massage the area, all of that. Where should you get your medication? Only from a trusted adult. When should you get help from a doctor for a fever? Once that fever gets over 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Good. Then you know about earaches and colds and sore throat. What does diagnose mean? To identify a type of illness. And then what are some germs that cause illnesses? Those pictures I showed you, those beautiful pictures, germs are viruses and bacteria. And so those are, depending on what you have, your doctor can help you with that. If it's a virus, you just kind of have to let your body heal itself. If it's a bacteria, they can give you an antibiotic to help that come out. Then you should visit a doctor. Why? To track your growth and to prevent illness. And then it went through the different sicknesses and what you can see for the symptoms of those. So think those through carefully. And then we did already just talk about Florence Nightingale. Cleanliness is important, personal hygiene. So look through that really quickly before you look at your quiz. Go back and review those. So on your quiz, the first section is fill in the blank. Choose the correct answer from the box below and write it in the blank. So it gives you all of those words. Spell them correctly. We just went over most of this information, so you better remember it. Then section 2 is true or false. If the statement is true, write true in the blank. If the statement is false, write false in the blank. Spell that correctly, because true and false is written right there for you several times to look at. And read carefully what it's asking, because they might just put a little bit in there to throw you off. And if it's false, you need to put false. True and false continues on to the second page when you turn it over. And so finish those carefully. And then on the last section, short answer, list 2 ways that sicknesses can be spread. So you're going to do 1 in 14 and 1 under 15. All right, and that's it. So do well on this quiz. See you soon.